Sit back, buckle up and brace yourselves. It is 8 p.m. on a super Thursday evening. My name is Rajiv and this 1 hour is the 1 hour I find most interesting, most inspiring and most intuitive and also very informative. Mark these 4 eyes because not about me, it's about the person who's next to me this 1 hour. Before we move on, this hour of alternate careers. Now, what is the meaning of an alternate career? First up, what's a career? When someone looks at a job or a profession in terms of the income, in terms of the growth, in terms of stability, in terms of safety, in terms of a bank balance and, constant promotions. That is what a career would be like. And a lot of us do that because that's what life teaches us to do. And there are few people who actually follow a passion, convert that into a profession, make a dream into a reality, and that life, that career, that job is no less than a fairy tale. But to reach there is nowhere a fairy tale. It takes a lot of hard work, patience and perseverance. To discuss one such career is a man with me. Now we all remember fitness is something which is about the barbells, the dumbbells and the kettlebells. Strike a bell with you somewhere down the line, you'll realize that there is this one man who's made India so proud over the past few weeks. We talked to Vignesh Hariharan. I'll tell you why. Because he's the first South Indian to win the World Championship in kettlebell sports. He's an entrepreneur. He's a gym owner. He's a certified personal trainer. He's a sports nutritionist. And a lot more. If all-rounder was supposed to be a tag, I think it goes to Vignesh Hariharan. So good evening. How are you, Vignesh?
I'm so excited and I'm fabulous to be here.
No, I'm very excited to have you here. When I look at the physique that you have, you look like a man who can carry a lot more than just kettlebells. Yeah.
Thank you. That's interesting.
First up, tell me, you're back from down under Australia. You made a lot of people very proud. Social media, some parts of the media have caught on to what you've achieved, others haven't. Tell me, how has life changed?
Life is very interesting now, at least to a certain extent. A lot of people have recognized and a lot of appreciations have been falling through. Yeah. And it's quite interesting to be getting noticed among the people, especially for the people in the sporting fraternity when they call up and wish. It's very a happy feeling.
But I'm sure that wish makes you wish for a lot more, right? To reach where you have has taken a lot of determination, a lot of discipline, a lot of passion. But to go over from here to the next level that you dream of requires a lot more, not just from you, but people around you. Yes. We'll talk about this in great detail, Vignesh. We have 1 hour with you. We talk about your rise, your success, the weights that you carry, and the load on your shoulder to make yourself a lot more successful. All this will be discussed on Alternate Career. Stay locked in. This is The Drive on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. My name is Rajiv and with me is this world champion in kettlebell. We have with us Mr. Vignesh Hariharan. Stay locked in, buddy. As of now, we hit the music. There's a very common saying, well begun is half done. But the bigger question is, when did it even begin for it to be well begun? And we talk about this entire journey with this man who has achieved so much. A gym owner, of course, an entrepreneur, sports nutritionist, a certified personal trainer, and a lot more. But I think the crown that he holds today is something that makes every Indian so proud. The world champion winner in the kettlebell sport. We talked to him. Tell me now, first up, Vignesh, how did you and the kettlebell start a relationship?
A couple of years back, it's 5 or 6 years back, there was a workshop which happened in Chennai. So I just happened to accidentally get into that workshop.
You were always into fitness before
yes,
that?
Yes, I'm always into fitness. Previously, I was into IT. I was working with I was a software engineer for like 7.5 years. And it's a career shift after completing my engineering and IT company and suddenly into fitness and sports.
Why did you do that change first of all? So you're the man with brains and body. That's a rare combination. Either you have one of them, you have both. But why did you shift? Was it boredom or was it you realize my love and my life and my interest is something else?
No, I think it's there in my genes. My dad is a sportsman. My grandfather is a sportsman. So something was there deep inside me. And right from my schooling, I was into sports and fitness. In fact, my father advised me to study less and become a sportsman. That is what he recommended.
What a lovely parent.
Yes, I wish all the parents in the world are like this, especially in India, especially in South India.
Giving value to the sports and other activities. Yes. Perfect. Please go on.
That too, more than like 30 years back when my father had that kind of a dream, it's something that has to be cherished by every kid. Absolutely. So, but during my early schooling days, I wasn't that successful in terms of sports and fitness. But later on, that was there deep inside me. And finally, one fine day, I just quit my job and jumped into something else, which I was thinking, what can I pursue apart from the studies which I did in my engineering? So I thought, I'll get into fitness because I was doing my bodybuilding championship while I was working in office, which was like a packed schedule, but still I made sure I was hitting the gym on day-to-day basis, just not like the people who are sitting and complaining, saying that they don't have time to work out in the gyms, saying that they are working in the office. So I wasn't giving any sort of excuses at that time. So I thought that is where I have to go and hit it again with my full strength. So one fine day I just gave up the job. I came thought, and I was taking some break, and I started getting into fitness. So that is how the fitness journey started.
From IT, you went into the KG.
Yeah.
Started carrying the weights.
Yes.
But how did kettlebell happen? Because when we talk about weights or the gym or fitness, we think about marathons, we think about cycling, we think about bodybuilding, we think about physique competitions. Kettlebell is supposed to be a tool to reach there, but you've used that tool and you've reached great success. So how did kettlebell even become an iota of an idea?
Whatever you said is right, because I have done all the above whatever you have said now, because I have ridden cycling for 100 kilometers, I have run several marathons, I have done bodybuilding for 2 years, and something I was missing deep inside me, because I wasn't achieving big in something whatever I was doing, because I am always an attention seeker. So that was there in my mind.
That's the only thing similar between you and me, attention seeker. But when I hear all that you achieved, Vignesh, I must say something that you make me feel very, very unfit. I always think, Rajiv is quite a fit man, but seeing you and what you achieve makes me a lot more desirable to start, achieving what you've done. I think what you've done is brilliant. We'll talk about how you took kettlebell as a sport, how the first steps were, and how you reached this wonderful height that is so appreciable. We'll talk about this entire journey in just a bit. We'll play some songs, and when we come back, we have great conversations with this man who's achieved so much just holding this kettlebell. But this one is not an easy way to carry. With me is Vignesh Hariharan. Stay locked in. Coming up are some lovely tracks on The Drive. This is Chennai Live 104.8 FM. My name is Rajiv. There are so many people who actually at the age of, late school or early college would say, I want to become this IT man. Just get into the zone of an IT, become an engineer. My life is set. But you left all of that, you held on to something which is very heavy to carry, a kettlebell, and you made your life and career completely out of this. Yeah. So tell me, how did the kettlebell connection happen? And when did you realize the passion or the love that you had, or the chemistry that you had with the kettlebell can be actually put into an amazing use of a sport?
Yes. A couple of years, 5 years back, there was one workshop which happened in Chennai. So I thought I accidentally wanted to learn new tools. Of course, when I've decided that I have to get into fitness, it means that I have to give my heart and soul to it. So there's no point in just beefing up myself and showcasing myself as a fitness trainer. So instead, I thought I should be more smart enough, and I have to be versatile among various tools so that I can give variety to my clients. That was the initial objective. So I thought I have learned the suspension training and the TRX, the Bosu ball, and almost all the other stuffs which are available in the market. So but this one particular tool, this kettlebell, it was heavy, because unlike the other tools, because normally when we get into the gym, we always feel like dumbbells and barbells are the ones which has weights. Otherwise we go to the stacked based machines.
Correct.
Instead, this was a simple standalone weight which was so inspiring, and the dynamics which the players executed while teaching this kettlebells, it was so interesting that I thought I should give it a try. But my body wasn't adapting to it, because it's completely new. The complete dynamics, the flow of it, it's like an art. Because lifting weights is like moving a weight from point A to point B. That wasn't the case when it comes to kettlebells. It's like more of a flow, it's like a rhythm. So I felt like it was very close to martial arts. So I thought I should give it a try, and that is when I started doing more of a research.
The next time I go to the gym, which is tomorrow morning, when I see the kettlebell, I will think of you in a way, and think of the kettlebell in a way I've never looked at it before. Really, it's a wonderful thing. If I can just add some words to what you say, it's not just about the muscle, it's the mind and the muscle connection that happens during the process of a kettlebell. So this was something you understood. It probably fascinated you, and this was many years back, 5 years back.
Yes.
Right. So over the past 5 years, how did you and the kettlebell start, becoming more friendlier with each other? And when you decide, let me take this into a competitive mode?
It was initially in my first 2 years, it took me a lot of pain for me to understand the sport. Understand the tool itself, because those days there wasn't much of people who could really help me on learning how the skill is, how the art is all about. So I had to contact few people in the Russia, because it's basically a Russian tool originated from there since 1700 AD, almost 300 years. But in the past 30 years, there has been a lot of tremendous improvement from the Russian side, and there are highly qualified athletes over in Russia. So, but the main main problem which I faced is the communication, because Russians don't speak English, and neither I can learn Russian that easily.
Correct.
So there were few people on the Eastern India. From Kolkata is my coach. His name is Arnav Sarkar. He is the one who is training me right now. So I thought I should subscribe to him, and I thought I started learning from him. So I started doing a lot of research over Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I started connecting with kettlebell athletes across the world. So from there on, I started getting a liking towards it. So first 2 years were like only learning, and practicing. And the next third year onwards, I started, okay, let me try something competitive. So I started playing the sport, and there were like 4 state championship, 4 national championship. I also played World Grand Prix, which happened in India. And last year I went to Indonesia for the Asian Championship, where I won gold for the country. And this time it's like the World Championship.
There's so much that is actually happening in the field of kettlebells, but sadly people don't know much about it. It's such a wonderful sport, as you say. It's an art, as you said. But I think this sport deserves a lot more recognition than what it is going through. So we'll talk about your trip down under. You came back so successfully, what it took, and basically to be the man that you are in terms of whether it's the endurance, whether it's the strength, whether it's the conditioning, the word that you use, conditioning. We'll talk about all of this in great detail. I hope over this few minutes that we have with each other, I'm sure people get inspired, and we talk about the best and the fittest version of yourself. All this in great detail. Stay locked in. This is Alternate Carriers on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. With me is Mr. Vignesh Hariharan. Stay locked in, buddy. Come on, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. That's what we hear. These grunts are what we hear at the gym, and all you want to come back with is these broad shoulders, big biceps, and this so often used word, that's six-pack. But this man is a man who packs a lot more in life. With me is Mr. Vignesh Hariharan. So Vignesh, tell me, now the vibe is this World Championship that you won and come back. You're first South Indian to win this. Now that is a huge feat. We cannot be prouder than what we are today. But to go there is something that you did all by yourself. Whether it is the initiative, whether it's the effort, whether it is the money put in as well. So tell me about this journey down under, the pressure you had on yourself personally and for the country, and how life has changed. Take me through this journey, man.
Okay, so when we reached Australia, that was the moment. The weather was very cold. So basically, being in Chennai, we always face the summer. Even during December, we face a lot of heat. But still, going there was completely a different experience for me. And the next part is, we have to play there. And for the common people who are listening to this audio, they might not understand how much weight am I lifting. So for just a reference, take up an empty cylinder, which is like 15.8 kilos. So this is like 24 kilos, which is a full cylinder is 28 kilos approximately. So it's like 4 kilos less than that. So for people who are listening to this, just assume that I'm carrying 2 full cylinders on my shoulders, and which is, slightly less than 2 full cylinders.
Not just carrying it, not just holding it, you are lifting it for 10 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. So that totally 61 repetitions which I had to do, and followed by a snatch which is 24 kilos. I did 93 repetitions, which gave me 154 points. So that finally gave me a gold medal for representing the country.
Talking about cylinder, I think you've got a gas of energy. You've got a lot of energy, man.
Otherwise, it's not possible for us to survive there.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to this sport, it's more of a mental challenge, because it's like doing a plank with a weight on your shoulders. So it's like you need to have a lot of static endurance. On top of it, you have to keep holding onto your breath as well, because you are lifting the weights. You are not simply standing onto it. Because plank is a position where people just stand, and it's an isometric, but this is not like that. So people have to keep lifting again and again, and have to be competitive. You have to lift more. So you should also break your cardio. You should break your strength as well as, and that becomes conditioning.
And ensuring that the mind doesn't give up
yes,
before the body.
Yes, because you will actually look at the timer which is running in front of you, but you will feel like, oh, when is this going to end? You will feel that that will be striking in your mind. It's still 4 more minutes, 3 more minutes. You will feel that. So it's so painful. So you have to be mentally strong enough, and that is what kindled me to get into this sport.
Lovely, man. So you got a strong mind, no doubt in that one. The body, of course, speaks for itself.
Yes.
Now you tell me, Vignesh, when you won this, what was the initial thing? Because you won it for a lot of people. You won it for the country, you won it for South India, you won it for your family, for your friends, for your coaches, for your well-wishers. But most importantly, you won this for yourself. Let's be honest, it's a selfish thing. We win for ourselves. So when you won, what was the first thing you told yourself, and what is it that you learned from this trip down under that you will never forget?
I would share only one emotional moment here because this has been, I was dreaming for several years. It's been since I started my sporting career. I think right from my age of 5, I was put into sports. But every dream of a sportsman is to hear the national anthem being sung for him. Not anybody in any of the countries or any people, any common man will never get an opportunity. Trust me, a person will never get an opportunity to having a national anthem being played for him alone.
Correct.
And especially when you are a person who is playing an individual sport and you are winning in a foreign soil and your national anthem is played in Australia, I got goosebumps. I was in tears. Trust me, I was in tears.
I'm getting goosebumps now, honestly.
Yes,
no,
so
I
that
understand.
moment I was dreaming for several years, and when it happened, you won't think anything apart from that. You will never have a thought about anything else in the whole world.
Just living that one moment.
Yes, and I have to cherish that moment for my whole life.
You know what? I wasn't there in Australia, but I can exactly imagine how it
Even
felt.
now I get goosebumps.
Me too, man. The way you say it, I know exactly how it is. And, heroes are plenty. Heroes are spoken about. Heroes are tweeted about. But I'm sitting in front of a hero. I cannot be more honored. I really am. We talk about this in more detail, Vignesh. We talk about Kettlebell as a sport where you, as someone who has a vision, thinks it can go forward. In terms of support, in terms of sponsorship, we'll talk about this and a lot more. But yes, we're very proud to have you with us on Chennai Live 104.8 FM. Stay locked in, lots more lined up for you. On the drive with me is Mr. Vignesh Hariharan. Goosebumps on the air. This is Chennai Live 104.8 FM. My name is Raji. What a fantastic interview it's been so far. We still have a bit more with Mr. Vignesh Hariharan. Now, this man is no stranger, a gym owner. He is a certified personal trainer, sports nutritionist, and entrepreneur. But more importantly, he carries this weight, this success, this crown of a kettlebell. The first South Indian to win the World Championship in kettlebell sports. And this happened just a few weeks back in Australia. So, Vignesh, now life has changed. For you, of course, it's the same. You still go back, you do the drill, you still put in effort, but on the outside, people must have changed around you, the kind of paychecks you receive, the calls, the sponsorship. I mean, how has life changed for you commercially?
Sadly, that is not the case. I haven't got any sponsorship from anyone so far. I don't think anybody has even recognized this as per whatever you said right now. But the sad part is this. But again, I would at least want people to at least speak about this, because when we are playing the sport there, all we have in mind is that when going back to our country, at least we have people supporting us, because we are playing for the country. So
you are saying that you won an individual sport. The national anthem was played for you on behalf of the country, of course, right? It's something that the nation takes great pride in. And you are saying today that the government, the sporting bodies, and the general public and the so-called celebrities, they are not recognizing this. They haven't valued this. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. That's a very demotivating feeling at the end of it. You're doing it for yourself, I know it, but still at the end of it, you want the country to be proud because you're making the country proud, right?
Yes.
So is there a point of time where you feel a bit demotivated and say, man, I'm doing all of this by myself. All I want is a bit of recognition and that good word. People realize I'm doing this for country India. So do you get a bit demotivated, sir?
Of course, yes, a little bit, but nothing beats the passion when we play for the country. That is always there.
Yeah.
Because playing an individual sport is even more fun. Because you all you have is the whole country behind you. But just one recognition, just tapping on your back and saying that, man, don't worry, we are there for you. Just play for us. That one word will actually motivate us like anything. Because holding on to a kettlebell and standing there in the podium for 10 minutes is not easy. After the 8th minute, you feel like giving up. When you are about to give up, what I motivate myself is like the freedom fighters when they were holding, especially the Kodikata Kumaran. If you know the story,
yes.
Even when he was dead, he was holding on to that Indian flag in his arms, in his palms. So something like that, we tell ourselves when we are doing that sport, because that is where we get that motivation from. Correct. At the end of the day, when we are coming back home and when people say that, man, you did an amazing job for the country, congratulations. That one word,
that's
if I could get
matters.
From general public or at least from the celebrities, even if I'm not getting enough recognition from the government, at least from the celebrities or from the private organizations, it will be awesome. Because that is one thing we are doing it.
I know. I'll tell you something. Celebrities don't need to give any credentials to us. I personally believe that you are a celebrity now. And it's the people who need to recognize you. It's people of the city, people of the country. It's me, people like me who need to appreciate what you do. And I completely am awed by what you've done. I cannot say, words fall short, Mr. Vignesh, but I do believe what you've done is absolutely amazing. And what you want is a tap on the back. I can give you a hug and say, man, you make India very proud. You really do.
That's awesome.
It really is. And like you say, I do believe that, people should just spread the word and make people realize that Vignesh Hariharan is someone who made India proud, and this is only the beginning, because he can give a lot more to the country. So from here, Vignesh, where do you go?
I wanted to train others, my students. Last year, I trained some 36 people from my studio, and I took them to the nationals, and 9 of them won several medals in the national team.
Wow.
And so similarly, I wanted to promote the sport. I want to, not just me, playing national anthem for myself is too selfish. I want a whole community to get that experience, because a lot of people, especially in India, a kid cannot pursue sport as a career, and he cannot make bread and butter out of it. But he has to be smart enough to do other associated things like becoming a fitness instructor, promoting sports, and doing a multiple stuff, and then still play for the country. So something has to be done in such a way that sports has to be given enough recognition by the society, and then has to be the government. So the society has to motivate people. They have to go and search for someone who is achieving, even not just kettlebell sport, and even in other sport. They have to find the person through Facebook or Instagram, appreciate them, go one-on-one with them, talk to him, because when the power of social media is there, you can easily reach anyone. It's not a big deal to find
for the good reasons.
Yes,
that's exactly how we found you as well. I mean, we heard of you. How do we reach you? We found you on social media.
Yes.
So like you say, I think it's about finding the right sources at the right platform, encouraging them and giving them this platform. So you are a student of the sport, you're a teacher of the sport, and you are a hero of our country.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
There is no point in blaming, saying that India has so much of population and still couldn't produce enough athletes in the Olympic levels. But it is our responsibility as citizens of the country. We have to motivate the person in order to perform it. So I don't think there is no more blame game to be executed here, and also should not be entertained. So there's a lot of talent, hidden talent among the even in the rural and in the urban state. But still, the motivation is the only thing which we expect.
I think that's a wonderful way to summarize the entire show. So don't make excuses, make heroes by encouraging them. Thank you very much, Vignesh. This 1 hour has been eye-opening, path-breaking for us, and I do believe that a lot of people hearing this will realize the greatness and the accolade that you brought to our country.
Thank you so much, Chennai Live 104.8, for giving me this opportunity, because
our pleasure.
It's one of my honor, because you guys have recognized me searching through the Facebook and Instagram. That's an awesome feel. Being recognized itself is what we are longing for.
It is our complete honor and pleasure, and I hope to meet you again and again and again with your more achievements. Thank you very much,
Thank
Vignesh.
you so much.
Alright, on that note, we wrap things up on a lovely session of The Drive. If you're driving, drive safe, be good, goodbye, good night, and still a big salute and a big thank you to Mr. Vignesh Hariharan, bringing pride to our country. Stay locked into Chennai Live 104.8 FM.